the first question I'm going to ask, is there anyone who does not understand Russian here?
The working language is English, so please use English.
Alright, no problem. Oh, okay. I will be talking about levelization for ancient languages, and I will compare two approaches to this task, rule-based approach and neural network approach. This article is based on my master thesis, and it's the very beginning of my PhD research, so please bear in mind that it's the very start of this ambitious project. Okay, so first section is introduction, obviously enough. Then I'm going to tell you something about early Irish. Well, the title is Lemmatization for Ancient Languages, but I started from a case study of early Irish. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what kind of language it is, what kind of data we have, and so on. Then I will briefly describe a rule-based approach, and then the neural network approach. Here and make some conclusions. So, first of all, I think everyone knows what lemmatization is. So it's basically grouping forms of word together, so they can be analyzed as a single item. This task is often considered solved for modern languages, but when it comes to under-resourced languages, and especially for ancient languages, it becomes more challenging because we simply don't have enough data. And the involvement of orthography is too complicated, quite complicated, to develop a rule-based system. So we don't have enough data for machine learning, and we normally don't have enough human resources to develop a rule-based system. But of course, there are some solutions. Ancient languages are very poorly covered in literature and are underrepresented in natural language processing on the whole. If we talk about lemmatization, there are only a few lemmatizers: Ancient Greek, Latin, Sanskrit, and Old French, and they are rule-based. They're quite old actually, like the 80s, from the 80s to the beginning of 2000. And then the latest works are based on machine learning, but it's only for Latin and Middle Dutch. It's an open source based study. Can't find anything else. You can see that the list is very short, but there are a lot of ancient languages, and manuscripts are being extensively digitized now, so the lists maybe want to use statistical methods to analyze them, to study them. So that is why we need to develop some natural language processing instruments for ancient languages. Okay? So, early Irish. First problem we have here is that there is no suitable data, right? The only publicly available corpus of Irish is called PAMIC, but it's not very convenient because, first of all, it doesn't have lemmas, okay? So it just parse trees. It's only a post tag and some basic syntax. I haven't touched this aspect for the moment, so it wasn't suitable for me because it doesn't have lemmas. The second source of data is the Dictionary of the Irish Language, or the DIL. It's a very comprehensive dictionary consisting of more than 4,000 entries. The entry looks like that. We have the headword, the lemma, and a list of forms, so we can use it as a source of data for lemmatization, right? But the problem is that the list of forms is, first of all, incomplete, and secondly, the notation is very inconsistent because the dictionary has been developed for like 50 years, and many scholars contributed to it. So each of them used his or her own system of notation and system of contractions. So it's not very convenient, but at least there are some common contractions, and we can restore the forms by using these things. Right? So we have to deal with one more pre-processing problem here to restore the contracted forms. Well, okay, it's doable. Then, what makes Old Irish data quite complicated to work with? It's fusional language, right? But the grammatical information is encoded not only at the very end of the word, but at the beginning as well, and in the middle, because it has some infixation. The projective pronouns are infixed into the word, into the verb. So we have endings. We have the so-called initial mutations that carry some grammatical information in the beginning of the word, and we have infixed pronouns. So here is a small example of the word "kale," servant, and in nominative plural with the article, it's in "kale." So the ending has changed and the beginning of the word has changed. So while lemmatizing it, we have to bear in mind that not only the ending will be different, but the beginning as well. Another problem is infixed pronouns. Here is a very nice example of the verb "kadif," he, she, or it loves. It's the dictionary form. We don't have the infinitive in Irish, so the dictionary form is third person singular. And then we have a verb that form "rav karshi," she had loved too, so we have the particle "rav," and then the infixed pronoun verb, written as verb, then the root car, and the emphatic pronoun "she." So that's the form. So you now probably have an idea how complicated it is to restore forms like this to form like "rav karshi" to "kadif," right? And another thing, when we have negations or questions, these negation and question particles trigger shift in stress, so the verb to bed becomes recovered. It looks completely different, right? Here are some forms. I will not read all of this. You can just have a look and see how different they are. Great. Okay, I have probably said all that. Okay, the disadvantage of using the DAL data is that it's not very mixed with grammar. So there are some grammatical flows. For example, emphatic suffix pronouns are lemmatized as independent personal pronouns, and prepositional pronouns are lemmatized as prepositions without that pronominal part. Okay, so for the moment I'm following the DIL in this inconsistency, but I hope to solve this as well in the future and develop a better grammatical notation. Okay. Alright, I will not spend much time on this, just how different letters can look in the beginning of the word with different mutations, how they can be written. So we have to restore these things to letters as well. Okay, and the rule-based approach itself. It was very simple. I actually didn't want to make it my final solution. I just wanted to try it a little bit because, of course, it's doable. But with a language, for a language with such the morphological complexity and such an inconsistent orthography, you have to have a team of researchers who will annotate the corpus and so on, write the rules. So I just conducted a very simple experiment using these form pairs from the DIL. So the lematizer, the rule-based lematizer looks like that. First it mutates the word, so it changes the beginning to its original form. Then it looks up the form in the lexicon. If it is in the lexicon, okay, we're happy with it. If it is not, sorry for the typo, we try to predict lemma for this word using the very simple modification of Demirel-Lippenstein edit distance, which is look at all the forms on edit distance 1 and 2, check them out in the lexicon, and those who prove to be real words to the candidate list, then filter them by the first character. Well, because normally words starting with a vowel, forms starting with a vowel, tend to have lemmas, for example, starting with a vowel. This was spelled correctly, and then we should lemma with the highest probability, which is just the frequency count here. And there's an integration, so it's very simple. To test it, I manually annotated 50 sentences, was 740 tables in total, and I randomly choose them from early Irish texts. So the texts are starting from 7th centuries to 18th centuries. So the Lematizer's lexicon, developed from the DIL, contains mostly Old Irish forms, so like 7th to 10th century. And barely any early modern Irish ones from 17th and 18th century. So, well, the test set covers all periods. It is supposed to show how the system copes with a known word's grammar and all the Irish data is supposed to check how the system copes with a known word's grammar, while Middle and Modern Irish data, the later ones, is supposed to show how the system copes with spelling variation. The spelling variation depends on the period. Okay? Great, oh my gosh. So here are the results. They're not very nice. Okay, so group they are not very effective. So I turn to machine learning, and okay, here are some details. We can have a look later. So I turn to neural networks and sequence-to-sequence modeling. Why did I choose any other algorithm for example, multi-class classifications with the possibility to automatically nice suffixes and classify letters? But there are too many lemma classes and the data is too scarce, so I decided to go from the word level to character level. Okay, everyone knows what the correct networks and sequence is. So I used the same full level pairs, not split them, cause them to training relation test sets, and went into character level. Okay, losses, and probably this is the most important picture. So the system reached its maximum on validation set accuracy after 10,000 iterations. It was 69 and 8. But then in the end, the validation set accuracy dropped. Of course, it was a bit complicated, so the right mode was available. Once hit after 10,000 iterations, once hit after 4,000, I think. Okay, great. So here are some mistakes that the system makes. It actually performs quite well because we can see that it learned to dictate forms. It learned some endings, some nominal endings and verbal endings. But because its experience is quite quite a lot of difficulties with compound verbs, with infix pronouns and shifted stress, but still it's quite nice, keeps quite nice. And here is the proper name table. So the baseline, which I define as dimutative form, because we take dimutative form as a lemma, it's 57.5. Then the rule-based model, it's quite bad with unknown words and alright with known words. Okay, it's not 100 because there is no disambiguations. And the sequence-to-sequence model is copes quite well. 64.9 may seem poor, but for this task, it meets the results of all the systems. Here are some models to compare. Middle Dutch, it's even worse. Here the CNN and Gordon Mannings. Latin with the CRF is a bit better, but the data is better as well. And French is full weighting and direct compare as well. Just so you know. Okay, and some results for of sequence-to-sequence models for different tasks, like for OCR, course correction, graphing to phoneme, monetizations. First two tasks are very close to what I did, and the scores are more or less the same. So that's why I'm not very disappointed with the results. But of course, there is much to do. First of all, I have to improve my corpus and maybe do some annotation. But for the moment, bearing in mind that this is a very early stage of my research, it was quite well, I suppose. And of course, if you probably want to work with Irish, I doubt it, but who knows? The modules are available on GitHub as well as they code. So I think that's all. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, you're welcome.
Questions? Yes, please.
Thank you for the talk, very interesting. And my question is, if you aim to develop lemmatization for ancient languages in general, why are you starting with Irish and not with Latin or ancient Greek, which have more data and therefore more possibilities to develop and test your approaches?
Well, because I reformulated my topic only recently. This article is based on my master thesis, and it was about Old Irish, and that's it. Okay, I did it just because I needed it for my side research on Irish texts. But for my PhD thesis, I reformulated it, and of course, I will work with more data later, ancient Greek as well.
Okay, more questions? Okay, so I have a question, but before I ask them, I need to make an announcement. I just learned that since you have a long paper, you have 30 minutes, not 20. So we have, and also the second paper, which I expect to be here, also has 30 minutes, so the last two have only 20 minutes. Sorry for that. They were really distinguishable in the program. So
all right, well, that's fine. We can spend this time for questions, probably.
Yeah, that's my proposal. I have a few questions. So first, your presentation was mostly focused on the motivation for your work, which is clear, so ancient languages, the cultural heritage, preservation, and so on. It's really challenging. It's really useful, like a lot of papers I see every day. But my questions are, first, you're using neural networks, and you're using just a chart RNN, right?
Right, yeah.
And when you are doing this, so have you tried do some regularization? You just try RNN, or you have some regularization terms, or anything else?
Not yet.
Okay, so it's early stage, you said.
Yeah, it's just I basically take a lemma as a input as an input.
So it's like input a word as
experiences was problems with verbs. They are not very regular. The compound verbs are not very regular. For example, here we have the form fris taskat, the systematic form fris type, which is actually a very irregular pattern. But for this very verb, the lemma is different. So it learned the patterns, but patterns are not very consistent. There are a lot of exceptions. Then what else? When it encounters infixed pronouns, it also, well, most mistakes are connected with infixed pronouns. Yeah, that's it.
So what do you think about the possibility to solve this problem for old writer? Because I haven't used RMS for language processing by myself, but the question is, so have you seen the prior studies maybe to use RMS for Russian or maybe other modern languages, of course English? Are these attempts successful?
Well, not for this task. It's mostly for referring to phoneme translation and vice versa, or OCR post correction, which was actually helpful. I would tell you the names, I just don't remember. Well, I'd say that the OCR post correction is the closest task to this, if we talk about spelling variation. So I will think about writing some rules about it. So we have several candidates on the United States, right? So probably filtration, some filtration.
So, one question from the room, audience. Okay, sorry. Do you have a question? No. Yeah.
Just a clarification for me. So you have the table with comparison of four among other approaches from languages like Latin, etc. I think it's next slide.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, this one.
It's not very comprehensive today, but just because there are not so many works dedicated to it. So we have Middle Dutch, we have Latin, and then Old French. I just put here as an example of how bad the evaluation for rule-based models is, because if you take almost any article on rule-based evaluation for an ancient language, they're quite old, and they give only rough figures, not no analysis, so I can't compare them very well to these models. Here it's quite clear.
Because I also think it's not really comparable, like comparable among other ones. Not like French, certain relative.
Well, certainly not all French, but Middle Dutch and Latin, why not? Just because there are different data and different algorithms.
Yeah, mostly algorithms.
So I just wanted to show you that how their systems perform on the same task. The data is different. There are no two works on the same topic there, so
And also this is not a selection, so
that's